All right, so we've already been through the pre-exercise screen form. So now we're going to have a look at the nutrition and healthy eating form. We've already assessed you as a low-risk client, so that's good. What we're going to do is look at your body composition goals. So we need to know if that's anything from weight loss to gain or reduce fat, increase lean muscle mass.
Weight loss.
Weight loss.
Yep.
And to increase lean muscle mass a bit, maybe?
Sure.
So with your current nutritional intake, we're trying to find out what a typical day is like for you in terms of meals, also snacks and how much you're drinking and what you're drinking.
Mm-hmm.
So what would a typical breakfast be?
Cereal with blueberries. 1 piece of toast.
And the cereals with milk?
Yes.
Yep. What would a typical lunch be?
Sometimes it's leftovers from an evening meal, or a cheese and tomato toasted sandwich.
So we can determine what your leftovers are when we ask about your dinner. So what would a typical dinner be?
A casserole or meat and vegetables. I eat quite a bit of vegetarian. I mean, I don't eat red meat very often.
A lot of vegetarian meals. Yeah. And typical snacks throughout the day?
A yogurt, banana.
Anything else?
Maybe
Muffin. That's good. And water intake. Do you know how many litres or how many cups you might drink?
Line dancing days I probably go through 2 or 3 litres.
2 or 3 litres.
Just that's not every day. Probably a litre a day.
1
average.
litre average.
Yeah.
That's good. Well, and alcoholic drinks per week.
I probably have alcohol 1 or 2 nights a week, 2 or 3 glasses at a time.
Yep. 1 or 2 nights, 2 to 3 glasses.
Yeah.
So we also need to advise you of the Australian Nutritional Guidelines. There's 3 of them. The first one is to achieve and maintain a healthy weight, be physically active and choose amounts of nutritious food and drinks to meet your energy needs. The next one is enjoy a wide variety of nutritious foods from these 5 groups every day. Plenty of fruit, plenty of vegetables, including different types and colours and legumes and beans. Fruit, grain foods, mostly whole grain and or high cereal fibre varieties such as breads, cereals, rice, pasta, noodles, polenta, couscous, oats, quinoa and barley. And then some lean meats and poultry, fish, eggs, tofu, nuts and seeds and legumes and beans. Milk, yogurt, cheese and or their alternatives, mostly reduced fat, but reduced fat are not suitable for young children. You don't have to worry about that though. Guideline 3 is limit intake of foods containing saturated fat, added salt, added sugars and alcohol. So you're fine with that one. So based on your info that we got earlier, it'd be good to see maybe a bit of increase in the amount of vegetables being consumed each day, which is very common. Most people might skip them out in sort of the lunchtime and only have them at dinner, so we could try and add a bit more of that in. You could even add in a few nuts to your snacks as well if you want.
Oh,
Yeah, you do sometimes anyway.
Sometimes anyway.
We can add that in there.
Actually, I sometimes put some on my cereal as well.
Oh, nuts. All right, we'll add it in twice there. That's good. So recommendations that we'll make for you to achieve your goals. With your physical activity, commence a weekly exercise plan in accordance with the guidelines for physical activity, which we've done. Follow the above nutritional guidelines for vegetables, fruit, grains, dairy, and protein and dairy, which we've talked about. Increase your water intake, so maybe on the days you don't exercise, you could probably have a bit more.
Yes.
Yeah. And then sugar, salt, and alcohol, we could just keep that low either where it's at or decrease it a little bit as well, just to see if that changes anything. And that's all done. I'll sign that one here.
Thank you very much.